I know I'm gonna bring it. I believe he's gonna bring it. So, you know, it should be, you know, I don't know if it's gonna be the same type of fight, but it's gonna be a high level fight.
I do my job, Rob does his job. We both do our job fantastically, and as a team, we'll do what we need to do to win on Saturday night.
I'd much rather have the Andre Ward we have today that will eventually capture America's heart. And like Pacquiao and Mayweather, it didn't happen overnight, despite the different personalities there. So what Andre brings here is very unusual to the sport, and it's not going to hold him back. As a matter of fact, it will embrace him more to the sport and to the American public as he keeps on elevating.
It's nothing against, you know, European fighters, but, you know, they fight a different style. And sometimes when a fighter fights a tough, rugged style against them, they're dirty. And it's not that, you know, a fighter's dirty, it's just that, you know, you're not used to that. So, and in some cases, you know, you notice even like Amir Khan and even Froch, in some cases, they can't defend themselves to the body. It's almost like they're uncomfortable in there. It's not that they're unwilling to engage, they're just not comfortable in that type of setting, you know. If you watch my fight versus Kessler versus Froch's fight, you know, it was both guys standing straight up, winging for the head. It was, I mean, you saw the same thing round in and round out. It was a good fight. But you saw the same thing from round 1 to round 12. So absolutely, that's going to be a factor in this fight. You know, for many, many years, fighters have been, you know, tagged as, you know, being ignorant. Guys who just get in there, just brute guys who get in and fight, but can't hold a conversation with you. And, you know, I do everything in my power to go against the grain when it comes to that type of stereotype, because it's not right. You know, it's a sport that I've committed over half of my life to. And, you know, when a fighter walks in the room, you know, it's refreshing to see them get respect outside of what they do. And, you know, I've run into people on the streets, you know, that'll say ignorant things, you know, just out of ignorance. You know, hey, don't hit me. Hey, listen, man, you know, I'm a God-fearing man. I'm a family man. Talk to me with some respect. I'm not a barbarian. I get paid to do what I do. I don't walk around hitting people. So it's just, you know, it's a lot of different ingredients that come into play when you talk about, you know, who I am inside the ring and outside the ring. But in terms of just the competitive part, that's just me. You know, I'm thankful. This is part of my job. I was telling the Showtime guys, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you get tired of meeting with the media. I don't, you know, because you guys, you know, whether you write positive or negative, you know, you guys are in part of what drives the sport. And to be honest with you, you guys have the fans' ear even more than the fighters sometimes, because you guys are constantly writing and constantly reporting. So, and this is, you know, part of what I do. This is part of my job. So I do it with a smile on my face and I embrace it. And, you know, I don't entrench myself with, you know, negative media, but, you know, I read enough of it to keep me going.
He wasn't expected to win, you see. So it wasn't even an issue until he beat Kessler. All right, now it became an issue. Okay, so Kessler had no problem coming over. And I got a young kid, he said it out of his mouth. He does not have experience, and he gonna find that out right from the beginning of the fight. Okay, it didn't go that way. So now, all the excuses come. Okay, with him starting in the ring about the headbutts and everything, it wasn't even a factor. They looked at this kid, well, Kessler's gonna go in there and beat him. And then this is gonna happen, and it's gonna be over with, okay? It'll be Abraham Kessler fight, okay? But we're gonna get the place packed out because Andre and I talked last night, and we're gonna go down here to the strip. We're gonna start busting out these windows with some what? With some what? I think we got a van. We're gonna drive a van through the Coach Outlet. And when you guys get through, finish reporting it, everybody from Chicago to New York is gonna come to this fight to see what fool did all of this. Okay, so we're gonna get a video.
I'm not a fighter who's gonna get on the internet and complain. I'm not getting the respect that I should get. You know, I should get more of this, and you know, I should get more. I just say, okay, we have to keep working. And every time I get in the ring, I'm gonna be the best prepared athlete, and mentally that chip is going to allow me to go through or walk through whatever I need to do to get my hand raised. It's a personal thing. It's not a chip toward anybody. It's a personal thing. It's what drives and fuels me. It's one of the things that drive and fuel me. So And I think to a degree, every fighter should have a healthy chip on their shoulder.
I've had to come through the hard way. You know, I won a world title and people didn't necessarily know the fight was happening. It was quite late. Then I came over to America to fight Jermaine Taylor, and it was broadcasted on a time delay the next day. And then I entered this wonderful tournament, the Super 6 World Boxing Classic, and I was on a sub pay-per-view channel in Britain. You know, unless you know that channel's there, which 95% of people didn't know it was there, and then the people that do know it was there, do they want to pay to watch it? You know, in the current economic climate, not many people tune in. So you get tens of thousands of viewers, as opposed to millions on terrestrial television, and that all goes towards the reason that my profile and my my publicity hasn't been quite what it should. But like I say, it's there now, and it feels great to now finally get the recognition I deserve. I fought Mikhail Kessler in his backyard. You know, I've got no complaints about a decision. I can be quoted as saying, I think the fight could have gone either way, and I could have won the fight if it would have been here. But it's just buts and maybes. I lost the fight fair and square to a guy that's a great fighter. You know, Mikhail Kessler is world class. He's an elite level fighter. So I don't worry about that loss, because I grew a lot of confidence and learnt a lot from that defeat, and came back in my very next fight to become WBC world champion. But no, of course, it sets the stage, it sets the scene for this big showdown on Saturday night.